Hey everyone. A lot of people know that I'm into coins and currency, so I get shown a lot of items and asked a lot of questions. And I know that there were a lot of people who aren't coin collectors or currency collectors, but they hold on to stuff that they think could be valuable or, um, you know, maybe been conditioned because they don't see it around too much. Well, today I'm here to show you something that I think is pretty special that I received and changed the other day. And as you can see in front of you, we have a circulated but still very, very cool $2 bill in front of us. Now, some of you might have arrived here because maybe you searched for, how much a $2 bill is worth. And, well, they're not all the same, but there are some patterns. Now, this particular one in front of us is probably worth, I would say, about maybe 200. Easily 200. 200 cents. Yes, it's worth 200 cents. So $2, $2. It's worth $2, yes. I actually had someone say to me once, I heard that there's I read this article and you can find like a $2 bill that's worth like $5,000. There aren't any $2 bills worth $5,000, are there? Now, mind you, I know a lot more about coins than currency, but I said, yeah, I can imagine there being a $2 bill worth that kind of money. And she said, no way. And I said, yeah, I could definitely see that. I said, but it's not something you're going to find in your change. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I said, the ones that would probably be worth that kind of money most likely are some of the older ones. And I believe it was in 1920, previous to 1928, it was a much larger bill. So it's going to pop out of your stack of money. It's going to just be very noticeable. And I said the second thing is that, it looks very, very different. It's a much different design. And even if it was the same size, I bet a lot of cashiers wouldn't even accept it because they wouldn't know what it was. And she seemed confused. I said, well, don't forget that we've been making $2 bills since the 1860s. And she didn't believe me. So I had to go Google it. And then I said, yeah, it was like 1860 something. So, there's this confusion that the $2 bill is worth all this money. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, all currency, even common, can be worth substantially more than face if it has like a low serial number. Like, the serial number on this one is 75349103. Well, that's, if you want to think of it this way, it's like, 75,349,103. Now, if that had 0000002, that's a really low serial number. A single digit serial number, like, 7 zeros and a 1 or a 2 or a 3, that would be huge. You could definitely get way above face for that. Even if it had a 2-digit number, or maybe even a 3-digit number, you can get, a pretty good amount on there, even if it was in kind of lousy circulated condition the way this one is. If it had solid numbers in the serials, like, all 7s or all 8s or all 9s, that could be valuable. If there were ink errors on it, it could be valuable. If it had a star note on it, the serial number, it might have a little bit of a bump. Maybe if it was a common star note, maybe it'd be worth like $3 or so. If it was a low print run, who knows? Maybe it could be worth 5 or 10 or 15. That's if it's a rare one in decent condition. So, there are some things that could happen to a $2 bill that could make it more valuable than a $1 bill, or a regular $2 bill. But those are the same things that could happen to a 1 or a 5 or a 10 or a 20 or a 50 or a 100. It's nothing special about the $2 bill. And then you have the ones that have the red seals. Those were made, I believe in 28, 35, 53, and 63, maybe? Don't hold me to those 4 dates. But I believe those were the 4 dates. And if they're wrong, they're pretty darn close. And those stick out like a sore thumb because they have the red seals on them. And that's this seal right here is green. On these other ones, it would be a red seal, and then the numbers, serial numbers on both ends would be red. Even in well circulated condition, you could probably get at least $4 for those. I actually got lucky once a couple of years back. I went to the bank and I asked if they had any $2 bills, and she gave me like 5 or 6 red seal notes. They were kind of circulated, but I was very, very happy to get them, especially for face value. So, I think that the two reasons that cause a lot of this confusion about the $2 bill is, first, you have these websites that take maybe a common misconception, and then they write these stories about it and make it seem like it's this big deal. And you're surfing the net, doing what you do, and then all of a sudden you see an article that says, "Is your $2 bill worth $1,000?" So a lot of people have a $2 bill, or maybe a couple of $2 bills, or a few $2 bills, and they think, "Could mine be worth that money?" No, it could be worth $2 though, and if you have 3 of them, it could be worth $6. Now I joke around a little bit. I mean, it's obviously possible that someone would have one that's a little bit better, but it's not real likely. And the chances of someone who doesn't collect coins, or maybe receive something from a coin collector, would have something that's extremely valuable like that is very, very unlikely. I mean, it's like a lottery ticket, to be honest with you. The other thing is that people think that because they don't see something, that it's rare, or if they get it back somehow, it's special. About 12 years ago, one of my coworkers asked me to look at her father's coin collection and some of the things that she added to it over the years. Well, she had about 30 or 40 Kennedy half dollars, not silver, not graded in like mint state 68, just regular run-of-the-mill half dollars. Like, they went to a convenience store, they got one back in change, and she saved it because she thought it was special. She also had some Eisenhower dollars. Now, some graded Eisenhower dollars can go into the several thousands of dollars. A lot of people don't realize that, but they have to be certain years and sometimes certain variations or extremely high grades. If you're just pulling one out of change, chances are it's worth $1. Maybe someone will pay you $1.25 for it, but that's what you're getting. She also had some Susan B. Anthony dollars. And again, there are a couple of variations there, like wide rims and stuff that could be worth a little more. These were not like that. These were just change. These are worth $1. Now, in later years, I have people showing me some presidential dollars because people don't like them, so they don't use them much. They don't appear in change much. So when people have them, the 2 questions I hear are, is this money? Yes, I'm not kidding you. The second is this worth anything? I say, you bet it is. It's worth $1. I mean, look at the presidential dollars. In the first couple of years of the Sacagawea dollars, I mean, they cranked out hundreds of millions of those things. They're all over the place. Now, when they made them not intended for circulation later on, yeah, they have some value to some people. It might be worth a couple of bucks or a few bucks in nice condition, but, I mean, still, they kind of are what they are. So, it is my hope that this video is seen by someone who maybe saw an article making them think that their $2 bill is worth ridiculous amounts of money, and that maybe they see this and they realize, yeah, I just got played by some guy just trying to make, ad revenue through getting people to click. Maybe it'll kind of make you think a little bit later on. Or, and this would be really awesome, maybe it'll get you into currency collecting or coin collecting, because I got to tell you, I have a blast doing it. I really enjoy it, and that's really the big reason why I make these videos, because I want other people to kind of realize that it's a fun hobby, it's an interesting hobby, it could be a lucrative hobby financially, and it just really keeps your mind going. So again, if you have a $2 bill like this, it is definitely worth $2. But I got to tell you one other thing, one other reason why I love $2 bills. I had a bunch of them that I was like picking through for serial numbers and stuff. So after I picked through them, I would just spend them. And I enjoy spending the $2 bills because when people get them, they kind of think it's special. So the thing I'm on here kind of railing against, I encourage myself. But I try to spend them because I want people to see them. Sometimes people think, oh, they don't make those anymore. I'm like, no, they still make them. Go to your bank. There's a real good chance they'll have them. But my wife was working as a vendor. She has a small business working as a vendor. And I had a bunch of $2 bills. And I said, you know what? take some of these $2 bills and give them to people as change. So I kind of got the eye roll, and she's like, oh, stop it. I mean, no, really, give it to people. You will stick out in their minds. And she did that, and you know what? It really did work. Like, there were a lot of people, especially I noticed, like, people in their 50s and 60s, they'd get the $2 bill, and they'd look at it like, oh, I haven't seen one of these in years. And if they had, like, their grandchild, they'd say, look, this is a $2 bill. You know, actually, one person did say, you know, these are worth money. I'm like, yeah, they are. They're worth $2. And again, the purpose of the video. Anyway, have a good one, you guys. Talk to you soon.